Hi, my name is Corinne Bloom, and I'm a life coach and mentor. And today I want to talk to you about making mistakes. So we're not very good at making mistakes in general, or failing. And often the case is because we really over-identify with it. We really make it about who we are. So Brené Brown talks about shame versus guilt, and I think her definitions are really great. So when we experience shame, we identify with it. I am a bad person. That's shame. Whereas guilt is, I'm a good person, I just did something bad, or I did something wrong. And I don't like to use good and bad because it's a little bit too black and white and too dualistic. But the point is that when we are experiencing shame, we really identify with it. When we make a mistake, we make that to be about who we are. So quite often, the reason why we go to that place is because it triggers a limiting belief about ourselves. So if we ever have a belief that we're not good enough, or we're not worthy, or that we have a need to be liked and loved, or to be significant, we all have our own version, our own belief, our own trigger point. And so when we make a mistake or we fail, it directly touches on that wound, so to speak. So we go into this place of, wow, I'm such a horrible person for doing this, or, I'm not good enough, and I should be better, and I should be perfect. And if I were perfect, then I wouldn't make these mistakes, and I wouldn't fail. And the result of that is we get so scared to even try something because we're so afraid of failing or making a mistake, and we really squander our own creativity, and our creativity is our life force. So, when learning how to make mistakes with grace, learning how to fail with grace, learning how to fall and get up again and dance again with grace is really the practice. And the reason why I'm talking to you about this is because I had an experience a couple weeks ago where I made a mistake. I made a mistake on something, and I could really feel the intense feelings of, like, wow, people, this group isn't going to like me anymore, and they're not going to trust me, and I should have known better, and I shouldn't have done that, and I could really feel the tenderness in my gut, in my solar plexus. And then I stopped, and I had to go, okay, Corinne, it's okay to make a mistake, we're human. And the moment that I tended to that, and I just allowed myself to honor that, I made a mistake, it's not the end of the world. And then what I did is I took responsibility for that. And sometimes this is what's really tricky, because we like to go into, oh no, there's this reason or that reason why that mistake was justifiable. But to actually sit in taking responsibility for it was hugely empowering for me. And so I was really honest, and I wrote a letter kind of explaining not why I made the mistake, but how I felt about it, and how I wanted to apologize, and just to be really transparent about it. And it was really a wonderful, empowering experience, and the feedback that I got, in the response that I got from that letter, was incredibly supportive. And actually it created, I think, almost a deeper bond and connection with people. I mean, there was a lot of conversation that came out of it, which was wonderful. Everybody has their own perspective of what mistakes are, but really it is about how do we learn to make mistakes with grace, because it's false to think we're going to walk through life and never make a mistake or never fail. And some of the people that have achieved the most, if I can use the word achieved, in one form or another, are the ones that have been willing to fail and to get up again and to try again. So I want to just offer you this reflection of, when you make a mistake, just notice what limiting belief is it really triggering, and what is that belief in you need, so it might need a certain sense of support or nurturing or validation that you are good enough, and that you are a good person, and that it's okay that you made a mistake. And then practice being transparent and vulnerable, and actually taking responsibility for what you did, not in a place of blame, of self-blame, but just really acknowledge that this is what I did, and it's a mistake, and I apologize. And just notice, you'll have an energy that rises up, because you'll feel empowered, because you actually you really stayed within the experience versus trying to run away with it, or from it, I should say. So I hope that's been something you can think about, and I wish you well on your journey.